There's secrets about the MLB's baseballs you never knew about.
Do you still think the balls are juiced, Justin?
Yes.
And there's so many other things you didn't know about the MLB. Like the league's banned accessories, or the curse that's haunted MLB players for over 100 years. But first, at number 10, I bet you didn't know that MLB mascots make more money than lawyers. Whether it's Philly Fanatic, Mr. Met, or whatever the hell this is, these aren't just sweaty grown men stealing people's girls or putting balls in their mouth for no reason. They're entertaining fans and whipping things out because they make over $250,000 a year. But at number 9, MLB stadiums serve the rarest food in the world. You can't get food like this anywhere but at MLB games. Like at the Cleveland Guardians Stadium, they let fans deep throat glizzies with Fruit Loops, mac and cheese, and bacon on them.
1/5 pound hot dog topped with fresh Fruit Loops, pimento mac and cheese, and bacon. This, surprisingly, is a phenomenal concoction.
At the Texas Rangers Stadium, they serve flamin' hot Cheeto pretzels.
So I'm sure you've heard of Cheetle, which is Cheetos dust. So that's what we do. We take butter and then we smear the dust from the flaming hot Cheetos all over a Bavarian pretzel.
Man, every Latino I know would love these. But they also love things longer than a baseball bat. Like what Miami Marlins fans get to eat.
Yes, thank you.
Giant Cuban sandwiches that literally need 3 people to hold. But when it comes to burgers, that's where the MLB gets its wildest. At the Philly Stadium, they serve burgers wrapped in a glazed donut. In Atlanta, Braves fans get to enjoy burgers with pizzas as the bun and their famous breakfast cleanup burger. Now that's definitely something I put in my mouth, but at number 8, there's things MLB players can't put in any of their body because of the league's banned accessories. Whether it was the time a player wore completely blacked out cleats, or when a player wore rainbow cleats for Pride Month, MLB's got a strict cleat policy where they claim if cleats don't match team colors, they're banned. Players also know that certain gloves aren't allowed, like when Jazz Chisholm just wanted to cream on some balls with his custom ice cream themed gloves.
Slider. Jazz diving and makes the play. Full tilt right there, and just a snow cone on that ice cream gloves.
Until the MLB claimed his white on the tip would make it too hard to see the ball, so his glove was banned. But there's also a banned accessory that has nothing to do with players wearing it. A lot of players use a sticky substance called pine tar so they can get better grip on their wood. And according to MLB rules, you can have up to 18 inches on your bat. But when George Brett went over the limit, it turned the game into chaos.
And now the Royals have the 1-run lead. George Brett has just homered, and Billy Martin and the Yankees want the bat.
He's got too much pine tar, and you've got to have a certain amount of distance from the trademark of the bat and the pine tar. George Brett looking around and wanting to know what's going on, and the umpires are going to get together and talk about this thing. You are not allowed to have a substance of any kind above the trademark. See where the pine tar, see the label, the trademark is?
Yep.
See the brown substance there? That's pine tar. Now you are not allowed to have that pine tar up that far on the bat. They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, the Yankees win it. He's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out. He is out and having to be forcibly restrained from hitting plate umpire Tim McClellan.
All cause George lied about how many inches he had. Not only were his ops snitching to the ump, the home run got called back, and things turned from the MLB to the UFC, all cause of a banned accessory. But at number 7, if only the MLB banned the weird rituals that players do. The Marlins used to introduce their rookies to the big leagues by making them dress like girls and wear booty shorts.
And here they were, dressed up. The video, I think, speaks for itself. Clevelander outfits, just like the ladies.
But some players weren't always forced to dress like girls. Sometimes they actually wanted to. The Yankees like to put something weird in between their cheeks, man. And it started with the legendary Jason Giambi. Rumor had it that whenever he went into a hitting slump, he'd actually wear a sparkly golden thong under his uniform for good luck. It wasn't even just him though. Derek Jeter revealed the rumor was true, and that even he tried the secret ritual.
I had a new teammate that I played with in 2002. He always had a gold thong hanging from his locker. And he told me, anytime you struggle, you wear the gold thong, you're guaranteed to get a hit. Now, I thought the guy was crazy. So in 2004, I went through the worst offensive stretch of my career. And every day I'd walk in, he'd point at the thong. So finally, I wore the thong. Now, it wasn't thong to skin. I had shorts on underneath, so I put the thong over the shorts. First pitch, home run.
Oh my God!
Yes.
No way!
That is
The
true.
golden thong!
Yes.
Now that's insane. At least their thongs weren't as dirty as what Clayton Kershaw's ritual was, though. He just wanted to show off his head game by wearing the same gross-ass hat all season long. Literally, dude would step on the mound and it would be dirty already, so if he wasn't even washing what the people could see, I don't want to know what he keeps in the closet, but why would he wear the same hat every single game?
My daughter, who's 6 years old, watched a lot of the games with me. She wanted to know why your hat was so dirty.
That's the same hat. I wear one hat a year. I don't know why. People think they won't give me another one. They will. I just choose one hat a year. I'm going to stick with that answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I told her you couldn't afford a new hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't afford a new one? We're talking about a dude who signed a $215 million contract. He can afford a new hat, man. He's just a freak. Speaking of money, though, I bet you didn't know that some MLB players make so much money, they clown the President of the United States.
Will you shut up, man?
While Babe Ruth was becoming one of the most iconic athletes ever, dude was playing baseball for $80,000 a year. And that doesn't seem like much, but dude was damn near playing baseball when dinosaurs were still around, so money held a completely different weight. He played during the Great Depression, where people's average income was just $950 a year. And 1 out of every 5 people didn't even have a job. Not even the President of the United States made as much money as him. So when Babe was asked if he deserved to make more money than the president, he said, why not? I had a better year than he did. Babe's career earnings topped over $785,000, and adjusting that for inflation, that would be like $24 million today. But the funniest part is, that's nothing compared to today's players. Cause recently, Bryce Harper signed a deal with the Phillies for $330 million. Aaron Judge signed with the Yankees for $360 million. Mike Trout may have gotten the biggest contract in MLB history that was worth $426 million, but even he knows his teammate Ohtani's gonna get an even bigger deal.
How much do you think he'll get in free agency?
I think he's anywhere between 5 and 6. Just
do you know how many M's that is?
That's a lot of M's. That's a lot of M's.
Oh my gosh.
There's literally reports that Ohtani's gonna earn himself a deal that could be worth $600 million. And if he does, that'll be the biggest contract in baseball, bigger than any NFL player's ever gotten, and it's the second biggest contract in the history of sports. God damn, MLB players get paid fat. And now I see why at number 5, MLB teams can afford stadiums where they created some of the craziest features of any sports arenas in the world. Sometimes the Padres Stadium gets turned into a golf course for fans, but playing with balls and holes, that ain't gonna make anybody wet like at other stadiums. In Miami and at the Diamondback Stadium, you can watch games while splashing in the pools. Speaking of the water though, at Tampa Bay's park, they have real stingrays that you can pet, and an MLB player even tried killing one when he blasted a home run at him.
There's one. High and deep. Still gone. Gone! Wow, what a shot. It winds up in the Rays tank.
Home runs actually do something special in other stadiums though. Like if a Mets player hits one in New York, a big apple rises out the ground. If Astros hit a homer in Houston, a huge train drives around the stadium. And every game in Milwaukee, not only does a grown man fly down a slide after every homer, the Brewers keep a car in the outfield, and if it gets hit, a fan gets it. Like this.
Moustakas sends it to right center and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Moustakas. He just hit one out of here with a runner aboard. Moustakas.
You ever won somebody a car before? No, that was the first time for me. It's pretty cool though. Definitely something that I'm gonna remember for a long time. That's pretty cool.
Damn, I want a free whip, but I wouldn't want to be an MLB star after what I heard about number 4. There are curses that have been ruining MLB players' careers. The first happened when some players were doing legendary things and got blessed with being on the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine. Like Zach Greinke got put on the cover when he was the best pitcher in baseball. But as soon as the cover was released, he instantly turned ass. It seemed like a coincidence until shortly after. Daniel Murphy made history by homering in 6 straight postseason games.
That ball is gone! Daniel Murphy has homered in 6 straight postseason games. Nobody's ever done it before.
So he got put on the next cover of Sports Illustrated. But right after, he played in the biggest series of his career and damn near forgot how to even play baseball.
Chopper on the infield, can't turn toe. Murphy boots it. In to score is the tying run, Zobrist. And this game is 3-3 in the 8th.
He made an error that cost his team a championship, so for him to go legendary to trash after making the cover is something that made the curse real. But the biggest curse in all of MLB history happened because of a GOAT? Not that GOAT, this GOAT. A controversy for the Chicago Cubs began in 1945 when one of their biggest fans brought his pet goat to a game and told everybody it was good luck. But the goat was annoying fans and probably smelled like shit, so he got kicked out. And as they left, the fan yelled, "Them Cubs, they ain't gonna win no more." Now, obviously nobody was gonna take a random dude with a pet goat seriously, but for decades, the Cubs never came close to winning a World Series again. From Black Cats running onto the field to random injuries of their most legendary players, Cubs fans knew the GOAT curse was getting out of hand.
The whole GOAT curse, I say, it's been long enough, 107 years.
And things were getting so bad, not only did a priest come to spray holy water around the Cubs dugout, Cubs fans even tried reversing the curse by eating a goat.
In fact, the curse is so legendary that a few weeks ago, in order to reverse the curse, a team of competitive eaters ate a 40-pound goat.
Now, that's gross, but it actually helped, because in 2016, the Cubs made it to the World Series and won.
So point blank, the Cubs win the World Series! Bryant makes the play! It's over! And the Cubs have finally won it all!
Exactly 46 years after that GOAT freak fan died, the Cubs officially broke the curse. Now that definitely deserved a crazy celebration, but at number 3, there's celebrations that the MLB banned. Lately, players been getting pretty unique with their celebrations, like chugging beers after home runs and even squirting on each other in the dugout. The MLB just felt like things went too far though, when players started cream pieing each other. The Orioles made it a tradition to shove pies in their teammates' faces whenever they'd win, and I mean, they'd even cream the mascot, till eventually one of their star players, Adam Jones, announced some terrible news. People apparently claim the celebration ruined interviews and created a safety hazard, so the celebration was banned. But that's only one of the celebrations the MLB had a problem with though. The second was when the Braves were hitting more home runs than any other team, so they began whipping something big out. It all started when a fan randomly tossed a player a big hat during the World Series parade. Once that happened, the Braves made it a tradition for anybody who hit a home run to wear the hat in the dugout afterwards. This was the only time that capping wasn't a bad thing, but the MLB's official hat sponsor New Era noticed that the hat wasn't made by their brand, and cause they had an exclusive deal with the league for players to only wear their brand's hats, the celebration was banned. But in number 2, I'm just glad the MLB never banned players from having crazy neck game. I'm sure we've all seen players wearing chains in games like these. But haven't you ever wondered why they wear them? To me, I think it messes up their game, like when players' chains snapped and scattered diamonds all over the field.
Oh, his chain broke, and those are the, that's the residue.
Well, some guys wear chains for sentimental reasons, like the obvious ones are chains with crosses on them, because players want to rep their culture, religion, and faith. Now, there's also Oswaldo Cabrera, who wears a chain with his family's body parts on him.
Now, Meredith, you have some news about what Oswaldo Cabrera is wearing around his neck.
Well, guys, file this one under you. You probably won't see this every day. Walked by me in the clubhouse today, and I said, "What's on your necklace? Is that a tooth?" And he said, "Yeah, it's a tooth. My mom told me to wear it. It's his grandma Anna's tooth." And he said, "Whatever my mom tells me to do, I'm gonna do."
Now that's gross, but sometimes what players do in a game is what inspires their chain. Juan Soto's signature move, the Soto Shuffle, became so iconic, he got it covered in diamonds and wears it. But Mookie Betts' chains are a little different, because once his dad gave him some of his net game, it helped him win a World Series.
A couple essential things, two mixed into one, are my necklaces. My daddy gave me this one that I always keep on. It's with me everywhere. I think he gave it to me in high school. I've worn it ever since. In high school, they would actually make me take it off during the games, but I would wear it until they told me to take it off. Since I've gotten into pro ball, we can wear necklaces. This bat necklaces became essential. I got it one day randomly in spring training and just threw it on before the game, and everybody said they liked it, and now it's kind of a staple. It's been with me for 2 World Series and hopefully many more.
Damn, who would have thought chains could mean so much? But at number 1, who would have thought the time an MLB player dying mid-game would change the MLB's baseballs forever? See, this is what baseballs used to look like. Because of how dark it was, in 1920, after a player was hit in the temple because he couldn't see the ball and died, the MLB decided to switch things up and introduce new white balls. Now, you'd think a brand new ball at the box would be what MLB players prefer, but they like getting their balls a little dirty.
And it starts by rubbing them in mud.
Well, it's a combination of the mud. I guess this mud's been used for years. Myself, I put a little bit on my hand, a little bit of water, just kind of evenly distribute it throughout my hand, and I just cover the ball with. All of us in the clubhouse here, we all do this, and everybody has their own little way of doing it, but I can feel it, and I can feel the ball drying because the moisture goes away the more you rub it, and that's kind of what you want. And then when you're done, it kind of just get a little color.
What's the purpose of it? Why does a baseball need to be rubbed in mud?
Because we've always done it. I don't know. Well, I guess it gives the player a little more grip. If you don't do this, the ball is kind of slick, and then pitcher loses a little bit of control.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives them a little bit of texture, a little bit of something to hold on to, I guess.
Yeah, every team has people that sit there and rub their balls. But that ain't just any regular mud from the backyard. It's special mud from a hidden place that the MLB won't allow anyone to find. Well, anybody but this weird-ass dude with a ponytail.
For 3 generations, Jim's family have been the only people carefully harvesting the only substance legally applied to Major League Baseballs.
And what's even crazier than that, dude, is the fact that each of the MLB's baseballs are only used for 7 pitches a game. So they go through around 1 million baseballs per season. And when you think about how much that costs at around $10 a ball, that means the MLB spends around $10 million a year just to get their dirty little balls played with. Only thing I can think of that's dumber than that are the dumbest plays in MLB history. One player's dumbest play got him killed on the field. Another dumb play got a player kicked out the country. Are you seriously gonna hear all of that and not click this video? Come on, man, it's free. Click it.